Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to discuss about the continuation of the previous class. Hope you are clear about the previous class, and I'm going to continue the lesson. Listen to me. Let's see how his life goes ahead. I'm going to read the next paragraph. Listen.
Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather, Rasul Buks Khan, was the Shahnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur king's court. His father, Paigambar Buks, and other paternal ancestors were also great Shahnai players.
The fourth paragraph says about his early life, about his family history and all. And here it says about his grandpa, and the name is Rasul Buks Khan. This was his grandpa. Rasul Buks Khan was his grandpa, and he was a Shahnai Nawaz in the Bhojpuri court, and he was formal Shahnai player there. He was a formal Shahnai player there, and for him, and his father was Paigambar Buks. His father was Paigambar Buks, and these two people were the experts of that musical instrument named as Shahnai. And this person was the official Shahnai player in the court of Bhojpuri in Bihar. Here, Rasul Buks Khan was the grandfather of Bismillah Khan, and he was an official Shahnai player in the Bhojpur king's court. And Paigambar Buks was the father of Bismillah Khan. They both were really talented. Let's see how he turns into the world of music, how he became the unbeatable king of Shahnai, the musical instrument. Because Shahnai is always named with Bismillah Khan, even now. Let's see how his life turns like that. I'm going to read the next paragraph.
Fifth paragraph. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, at present Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shahnai. Soon, Bismillah started accompanying his uncle, Ali Buks, to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Buks was employed to play the Shahnai. Ali Buks would play the Shahnai, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangalamaya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shahnai.
Now, maybe because he was born in the family of such musical experts, such talents, he was having that instinct, that ability, the talent in him, and it was being shown at the age of 3 onwards. And at the age of 3, when Bismillah Khan went to his mother's house, went to his maternal uncle's house, means mother's brother's house, and when he reached the place is actually Banaras, which is known as Varanasi at present. Banaras was a previous name. It was an old name, and now it is renamed as Varanasi. Hope you are familiar with the name because it is being mentioned in the newspapers recently also. And this is a famous holy place for Hindus. This is attached with the Kashi. Now, let me continue the lesson. And when he reached there, he was really being attracted by the uncle practicing Shahnai. His maternal uncle was practicing Shahnai. His mother's brother was practicing Shahnai, and he was being attracted by the tricks his uncle was using. So, it was really amazing that little Bismillah Khan's talents were coming out and he was showing that beautiful keen interest on learning it and making it happen in his life also. And slowly he started sitting with his uncle and listening to the different notes which he was practicing and playing in the musical instrument. Gradually, day by day, this small boy also started playing the musical instrument. He started learning the different notes and started playing them. And the beautiful banks of Ganga, those beautiful temples, the Balaji temple and other surroundings became the audience for his practice, and it was really amazing that he was very easily and fastly learning all the notes and understanding the different ways of using this musical instrument. And while he was playing Shahanai, he was beyond the limits of it, because many people felt that some ragas were not good for this musical instrument. But he was not ready to accept those such foolish feelings, and he tried all those notes with the experts said it is not suitable for Shahanai also with it, and he successfully done it very well, that people agreed that Bismillah Khan is the real hero in the world of Shahanai. Let's see the next paragraph. I'm going to read it. Listen to me.
Sixth paragraph. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of this recital, Ustad Faiz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shahanai player on radio.
At the age of 14 itself, Bismillah Khan got such a wonderful opportunity to accompany his uncle to a great musical event. Bismillah Khan happened to join his uncle in this great event, that is Allahabad Music Conference. Can you imagine a person, a small boy of 14 who is getting a chance to attend such a great program? In your age only, you are also 14 or 15 only, no? So such a boy was getting such beautiful and wonderful opportunities to conquer the world of music. And while he was accompanying his uncle, automatically he also got a chance to get appreciations from those great people from the conference, and one among them, a great Ustad Faiz Khan. Ustad Faiz Khan appreciated him and said that you can do it if you are doing the practice very well. He advised Bismillah Khan to practice very well and to conquer the world of Shahanai and find out new notes, inventions in the world of Shahanai. It was really appreciable, right? And in 1938, with the starting of All India Radio, you know what is All India Radio? Yes, this is an audio channel, actually, radio channel. You will be more familiar with FM stations right now. But there was a time when TV was not very popular in the place, and TV was not even coming into the Indian economy. All those times, people were enjoying all the world of, what we will say, the news was there, then music was there, children's programs were there. Whatever we have in the TV, almost the same lengthy events were there in that All India Radio also. I am also a person who is familiar with when I was a child, I have experienced it, and I used to listen to movies in All India Radio. Can you imagine how we can listen to it? You will not be able to imagine it right now because you are watching the movie now. I used to, because during that time even the films, watching films from theater is also not very common for us, the normal people. So what we used to do is every week one movie's dialogue will be played along with the background explanation. That was the one word through which we could listen to movies at that time. movie theaters were not very common at that time and were not safe also. So, All India Radio was such a wonderful world of enjoyment and knowledge for the people of that time. And when it launched in 1938, that gave a break to Bismillah Khan. How can he get a break? Automatically Bismillah Khan got a chance to play Shehnai for the All India Radio, and that gave a big break to him. That gave a big publicity to him. And from that onwards, most of the days All India Radio was finding a time to give to Shehnai, playing of Shehnai. Every day, most of the days, Bismillah Khan was given a slot to play his music, and that the music Shehnai was very popular for the public. Let's see the next paragraph. I'm going to read it now. Hope you understood all these parts. If you have any doubts, you can talk to me during the live interaction session, or you can come to me in WhatsApp. I'll give you the answers and we'll continue with the lesson. I'm going to read the next paragraph now.
7th paragraph. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He poured his heart out in the Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech.
And one of the most beautiful moments in his life, in his career, was when India got independence in August 15th, 1947. Hope you remember the date, because this is a famous date as far as Indian history is concerned. And when India got independence, it was the music of Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan, which greeted the people of India, expressing the love. And there he could have such wonderful team to listen to it. It included the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. The first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, also was there to watch the program and to enjoy it, to greet the public. And after this performance, here comes the wonderful speech by Nehru, Tryst with Destiny. The wonderful speech done by Nehru was in this occasion soon after the independence on August 15th, 1947. And
now let's have a look at the question answer part. In page number 26, the first exercise number 3 is a question answer part, that is a short answer type questions. And the first question is, why did Aurangzeb ban the playing of Pangi? The answer is there in the text itself in page number 21 in the first paragraph of the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. The first and second sentences are coming as the answers. I'm going to read them. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called Pangi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pangi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. And the second question is, how is Shehnai different from a Pangi? And in the answer you can say the shape of Pangi is different from that of Shehnai, because that is said in the first paragraph. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that is longer and broader than the Pangi, and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. And when he played, closing and opening some of the holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced, and at the same time Pangi was producing only a very shrill, unpleasant sound. That's what is the major difference between these two musical instruments. And the third question is, where was Shehnai played traditionally? How did Bismillah Khan change this? This question's answer we can see in the second paragraph. I'm going to read it. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat, or traditional assemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument into the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. And the fourth question is, when and how did Bismillah Khan get this big break? The answer we can see in the sixth paragraph. And with the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. Then we have the fifth question. Where did Bismillah Khan play the Shehnai on 15th August 1947? Why was the event historic? This question's answer we have discussed in this class towards the end, the last paragraph, the paragraph number 7 in 1947. Bismillah Khan played Shehnai in front of such a big audience which included the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. There are two more questions coming that we will discuss in the coming classes. And now we are going on with an exercise part related to the language 2 plus verb. Here I am going to say some important rules which we have to be careful while we are using 2 plus verb. The most important thing is when we are using 2 plus verb, the verb form will be always V1. It will not change whatever the tense is, whatever the person is. So 2 plus verb, when we are using it in a sentence, you can use the V1 form with all the times and all the persons. For example, if the sentence is in singular, if the sentence is in plural, no change in the verb form will happen. And at the same time, if the sentence is in present tense or past tense or even future tense, we'll be able to use the same 2 plus verb V1 in the sentence when we are using 2 plus verb form with it. That is the most important rule to be carried while you are using this verb form. Here I'll do the first sentence for you and you have to do the rest of it. The school sports team hopes to win the match. Now like this, the other sentences also you have to fill accordingly, suitably. Make sure that the part which you fill is completely connected with the sentence. Here in the language, thinking about language part of the second exercise is finding an equal word or phrase for the definitions which are given here. The first 4 can be done by you. The first 3 ones pictures also I am sharing here for you. The fourth one also you have to do. And in which paragraph you can see the sentence, the phrase or the words, that is also given here. For example, in the first sentence, the home of royal people. In the bracket it is given as the first paragraph. Paragraph number 1 is given there and the word will be the royal residence for the first sentence. Like that you have to share all the other 3 also. You can check the paragraph given and read that paragraph very well to understand what is the phrase or the words given there which defines what is given here. Make sure that you are doing that. And that's all about the exercise part. Hope we'll wind up the session today.
Here we comes to an end for this class. Hope you're clear about all the points which we have discussed. We will continue the lesson next day. Thank you. Have a nice day.